have a question or a comment for my guest this evening, then why not text 07900 171 453, or if you're listening via the Swindon 105.5 app or website, just click on the Contact Us button and that will email me directly here in the studio. Hello and good evening and welcome to Don't Stop the Music radio show. My name is Peggy-Sue and I am your host. Now the song you just heard there is a live recording of Black Night by the Muddy Drifters, which they're not quite a band as we know it because you have many musicians in the Muddy Drifters. So I'd like to welcome members of the Muddy Drifters to the studio. Hello to Miles and Sue.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having us.
Hello.
Hello. Oh yeah, we'll have both of you in here, so don't you worry.
Thank you.
So tell me the story behind Muddy Drifters.
The Muddy Drifters name came from my best friend Yavi, and about 2.5 years ago we were doing a lot of open mic sessions, and we thought we could do a bit better than this. We could run our own open mics. So we started to sort of introduce and collect different musicians of different qualities and different genres together. And for me, when I go out and do an open mic, or when we set up, we can offer people, a bit of jazz, a bit of Spanish, a bit of rock and roll, a mixture. And it also allows individual musicians to, bring forward what they're doing. If they're playing a mandolin, or they're playing an electric guitar, or they're playing different types of drums like a cajon, it gives them a chance to sort of come forward, meet others, and do something with their music.
Brilliant. And music brings a lot of people together as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And that's the beauty of music, is it doesn't matter who you are, what your life choices were. It brings everyone together with the same type of
love of music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does. The one thing about musicians, which is sort of rarely talked about, but musicians are very confident when they get on stage and when they play, but behind the scenes they're all quite shy. So I like to connect that shyness in people and say, hang on, before you pack your guitar up and get in the car, let's have a quick drink at the bar and a chat about what you want to achieve and how you're doing it, and maybe there's somebody here that I can introduce you to, and that's really what's been going on. I've got several Muddy Drifters that have really progressed from being really quite shy and sort of playing on their own to now playing with 4 or 5 musicians in a band, and enjoying something that you can't do at home. You've got other musicians, you've got other timings, other rhythms. So yeah, positive music.
Now, how did you personally get started with music? Was it from childhood? Was you given a guitar at a young age, or was it something you developed later in life?
I always had a love of music. I used to collect records when I was a teenager. I never played an instrument at all. Later on in life, sort of fairly late really, I suppose in my beginning of my 30s, I'm now 63, so I thought to myself, I'm going to pick up a drum. So I started doing rhythms. I'd always tapped, my hands on my legs and tabletops and things, and I thought, no, I'll give it a go. So I ended up in the Sinai Desert with the Bedouins, and they just play percussion all the time. That's what they do day and night. So they taught me African rhythms. I got so excited I came back and I went to South America. I learned the South American rhythms, which probably are some of the best in the world. European, I'm struggled to tackle African rhythms. So that was it, and then later on I was a radio presenter like yourself. And I had bands in the studio, and sometimes the drummer couldn't make it or the percussionist couldn't make it, so I'd jump behind the chair, get on the stage, play, and then jump back to the mic again and continue the program. So that went on for a long time. I played with a lot of bands. They asked me to come out and play something. I would say when you play percussion and when you play drums, you're kind of wanted. Everybody plays a guitar, everybody sort of attempts to sing and play bass, but it's a nice place to be. You do get asked quite a lot to go and play. Came back to England, sort of settled down, didn't get involved in music, and then one day I met a musician. He came round to my house for a cup of coffee, saw the drums and said, why don't you play? And I said, well, I need some people to play with, and that was it. Then we formed the Muddy Drifters Collective, and I haven't looked back. It's been great fun.
Now, it sounds like a really fantastic idea, with everybody getting together, having a good jamming session, and just
that's
having fun. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, where do you do these jamming sessions or collectives? Where do you do them?
Well, we tend to keep to open mics, and then we can offer a stage with a PA system set up. The thing with open mics is you want to come along, be able to plug in and just enjoy yourself, sit down and meet other musicians. So we've sort of promoted that with a few different pubs in the local area. We've now got a fixed venue, if you like, where we do sort of every Thursday of the month. That's 3 Thursdays out of a month. And yeah, it's one of those things, you know, you sort of keep going and keep going. I think a lot of pubs and landlords have problems getting their heads round musicians. They sort of, some pubs think, well, if I have a different band every week, I'll attract people. But that doesn't tend to work because not everyone's got a following, and you're changing the music all the time. The other type of pubs are taking a band in that isn't such a quality band, and people get bored of the same music. You know, a band's only got so many songs in their set list, and that goes over and over. So I find with the Muddy Drifters, I've always got something different to come up with. So one Saturday you might be listening to some rock and roll, and you know, we'll do that, and the next week we'll come back and we'll do jazz. I can turn and say, okay, I need a sax player, I need a bass player. One of my favourite bass players, I think you've interviewed here, Chris Lane, and his father John Lane. They're absolutely brilliant musicians, and they'll always stand in and say, what are we doing tonight, Miles? Actually, we're going to do some Spanish. Oops. Because they love their rock and roll.
Yeah, they do.
And I think also, you know, Johnny Wright, he's not technically a Muddy Drifter, but he's on the outskirts of us. He always plays in with us wherever he's got an open mic or a gig going on. We tend to support him. He does a lot of charity work as well, which we have done. And you know, musicians tend to get on when they do get on very well and help each other. So I'm a musician, but basically an organizer and facilitator. And I think Johnny Wright does the same. He does some great events, and we try to support him.
So if you have any questions or comments for my guest this evening, you can text 07900 171 453, or if you're listening via the app or website, do click on that contact us button in the top right hand corner, and it will email me directly here in the studio.
Thank you.
So the next song I'm going to play, so this is another live recording, is Max and Miles.
Yes, yeah.
So
Max came into the Muddy Drifters. He was a very shy musician, but he's progressed so well, and he sings and plays so well. So this is Max with the Muddy Drifters.
Here we go. Okay, so that there was Max and Mars, and like I said, they are live recordings from those actual sessions, so that's why you may find that some of the singing is quite quiet compared to the actual band playing itself. So when you can hear the guitar and the drums or the percussion, that's why you can hear those over the singing.
Thanks for that. That was recorded at the Crown Inn in Pewsey. They meet on a Thursday, second Thursday of the month. It's get together, a little bit of a jam session. So yeah, that was sorry about the quality. It's we haven't done studio stuff yet, but that's basically an introduction to what we get up to.
But that's the good thing, isn't it? Is because that's what you're now showing what to expect when they go.
Yes, it's raw.
It's raw, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the raw stuff that you get the
They
real
do.
gems.
They like it. Yeah, they like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you start off a jam session, I mean, what is it all about? You know, a lot of musicians that are quality musicians that play regular sets, they get very nervous, and I never really understood that. But it's to do with the fact that it's all over the place. You've got to follow each other. You can't have an ego really with jam sessions, because if your lead guitarist is just playing all the time, nobody can get in on that. So you need to be able to quieten that, and if your guitarist looks around and he goes, right, who's next, and the bass player has his turn, and then the drums have their section, it can be a great jam session. But yeah, and you can be a newcomer to music and give something to that session, or you can be a professional and give something. So it's a really nice melting pot, jamming.
It is. It's a very... Now, I've done a few open mic nights myself. Don't play any instruments, but I have sung.
Yes.
And I find them really, really liberating, because you find so many new people.
Yes, you do.
Or you find new music.
You do, yes.
That you've never heard from before.
Yeah, or you get that lovely comment at the bar when you're finished. Oh, that was a great song, and it sort of gives you a bit of boost, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's
does.
lovely to get that.
Or you get that, as you said, you get that nervous person. It's their first time up there.
Yes.
I've done it. I know what it feels like. They're getting up on that stage, and you're like, oh my God, here we go. I'm gonna, and then suddenly you do it, and then when it's done, you're like, oh, the relief, the lift, and then also how you feel afterwards, knowing you've done it.
Yeah, exactly. You've done something that not a lot of people do. You've got to have confidence to do it. You've got to be, fairly accomplished with, yourself, with your voice, vocal range. If you're a guitarist, you've got to know those chords, and it sort of comes together. I often get upset with people with iPads and sort of backing tracks and things like that, because I feel like, well, you're not quite ready, but you're here at the open mic, and we want to sort of present an open mic where you are accomplished. You don't need your iPad to follow the words, and you don't need anything backing, because you can approach us and say, actually, I need a bass guitar tonight, could you learn this? And in the corner you'll see somebody practicing something. They stand up on the stage and think, wow, you've only just met and yet you're doing some music together. I
had that. I literally went in with a backing track to one of the open mics, and musician Jimmy Moore, he learned how I sung Tiffany's, I think we're known now. And he learnt it. So when I went back,
to stand in the corner.
no, he learnt it. So when I went back
brilliant.
Next time,
he had it down pat.
He goes, I've learnt it. I'll play it with you. If it goes wrong, and he actually said, if it goes wrong, it's because I've learnt it just so she can sing it. And it was brilliant. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, this wonderful, sort of era that we live in, we got WhatsApp, which we use as a group. We'll often put out a song, guys, can you learn this? And individually, we're learning it at home.
Yeah.
And then we've not played together, and then we come together and say, okay, we're going to do, we were sort of practicing Africa by Toto, and then we sort of brought it together once or twice, and it's great to do that.
It gives everybody that sense, doesn't it?
It does.
That accomplishment.
Sense of purpose. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm doing something at home in my spare time, in my bedroom or in the garage or something, and then when I meet the guys, they've all done it as well. So you've got a drummer, you've got a bass guitar, lead guitar, and you put the vocals to it. Yeah, it can be fun.
Now, what I like about the fact that you do these sessions is that you'll go into these pubs, which they are a dying breed now, these pubs, especially with live music.
Yeah.
And it's such a sad thing, because there's so many decent places that have closed. We used to have Riff's Bar over in Burton, and that's now gone. And it's just one of those places that always had music coming out of it. You always had a band playing, tribute bands, local bands, anything. It was amazing, and now they've gone. And
well,
it's sad.
I mean, I see it from the other side because I'm organising it and talking. I generally go and meet and sit down and have a cup of coffee with the landlord to see what he wants and what he will tolerate, the space he'll give to us. I'm grateful because I've got a space to play. You can't do this kind of music at home because you're going to get the neighbours knocking on the door saying, it's a bit loud or, whatever. Practice space is, hard to come by. So I've got a practice space. I've also got an audience that is coming in, and that's his public, his public coming in, his clientele. So I've got to balance that. Years ago, of course, you got paid to do it, so you could offer some money to people coming to play. These days, it's all sort of done buckshy. So a musician is jumping in his car, spending his time, his energy, petrol to get there. Buying the instruments, learning, and coming and doing something for free. And that is the bit that I try to get across to the landlord. That these guys are coming. Some of my musicians will drive an hour to get to a session, and they're not getting anything. They might get a free drink at the bar, but that's about it. We do paid sessions. We've done a few things like weddings, parties, and things like that. And we've done some charity things. But going back to the pubs, the landlords have to have an idea that music is key to bringing an audience. You can do some great food, you can have some good bar staff, you can have a nice clean running pub, but unless you've got some music, people do come out to listen to music. They really do enjoy it. But you've got to build that. You've got to say, okay, once a week we will do this, once a month we'll do that. I do think that you should not dedicate perhaps every Saturday to music, but you should dedicate one in the month. Sort of, because it's, you've got a pub, you can play music. People come there to have a drink, they come to be entertained, and these days you've got bingo, you've got sort of quiz nights, you've got things going on, and these do pull people in. But for me there's nothing better than listening to real music, and some of the talent out there. I mean, I've met some people that have brought tears to my eyes. They've stepped up to the open mic, I don't know who they are, they've come from miles, and suddenly I've been blown away. One of the best places that is not doing as well as it could is the Exchange, the Corn Exchange in Devizes. Great stage, a lot of people go there, a lot of musicians. But you do find that, these talented musicians need a stage to go to, somewhere dedicated. And that's what I'm trying to do. I've got a really lovely local pub, the White Hart in Burbridge, and the landlord there has been really great about music. He believes in it, he understands it, and that's kind of where you meet. If you're going to play golf, you go down the golf club. If you're going to play music, where do you go? Well, you go to an open mic. That's the way it works.
It is indeed. So the next I'm going to play is another live recording, and this is Yavi with the full percussion. So here it is.
Mike Ganley's Crooked Road, Americana, acoustic and roots music on Swindon 105.5, Thursday evening, 8 to 10. Listen again, 2 minutes past midnight on Wednesday. Listen on air, on digital radio in Swindon and Marlborough, online, on smart speakers, and on our station mobile app.
Don't Stop the Music radio show is a dedicated show for musicians to share their music across the airwaves, whether they're local, national or international artists, with guests every week discussing and sharing their music, whether they're here in the studio or via the wonders of technology. So join me, Peggy-Sue, live every Tuesday between 8 and 9 p.m. Plus, Don't Stop the Music radio show Extra is on every Saturday between 7 and 9 p.m. But that's not all. You can now catch Don't Stop the Music radio show on Spotify, Amazon Music and Patreon every Friday at 7 p.m. So what are you waiting for? And get your music heard on Swindon 105.5. So yes, do get your music heard, because it's something that everybody who are musicians, or like I did on Saturday where I had Gail in the studio, who actually runs Lindy Hop jive sessions, and she was talking about the music behind that. It's always good to talk about music. Now, talking about music, earlier you mentioned the Lanes.
Yes, indeed.
Did you know Martin Lane?
I knew him briefly. I mean, he played bass, filled in once. Chris was very ill, and he came along. And I didn't get to know him that well because he was, sort of very busy with what he was doing. And then a second time I was let down by a drummer, and he turned up and did the drums. And then I did have a long conversation with him. Lovely guy, very, very talented.
Gentle giant.
He's a gentle giant, the big bear, but unfortunately he's died. It's been very sad to get through. And we've supported as much as we can. But yeah, I did know him, yeah.
So I know the Lanes and other bands who knew him, or he was in their bands. So like Here Come the Crows, Men Invest. I know we're friends with him and things. They are doing a gig this Friday, the 14th of February, at the Vic in his memory. Yeah, lovely.
It'll be a lovely evening, and he'll be up there looking down, thinking, "Yeah, guys, rock on."
He definitely will. Now, speaking of one musician, tell me about the musicians who have joined the collective.
Well, we've had all sorts. I mean, I'll have to go through alphabetically, I think, really. We've got a lovely lady called Angel. She plays the flute and mandolin and mandolin, very sort of folk music, and fills in a lot. Obviously, Chris Lane, John Lane, Nikki Cook, she does a bit of singing once in a while with us. We've got Helen. Helen sort of does the oboe and a few different things. Very interesting music. Derek and I are good friends on one level, and he's on the mandolin. He also plays bass. Magnus, Hannah Reid, absolutely love Hannah to bits. Big shout out for her. She's a wonderful singer, a great guitarist. Tom Hardy, Ian, James, Brian, Joe, Kirsten, who's sadly moved away, absolutely brilliant singer. Max, who's doing singing and guitar playing. Nikki, Josh Oldfield recently has joined, and I love his music. He's got his own sort of way of doing music, and we join in sometimes. Rob, J and K, wonderful sax player. I love playing with him. He often comes along, and I think he's going to come along on Thursday down at the White Hart in Burbridge. Sergey, my favourite drummer and percussionist. He also sings, he also plays the guitar, and he writes songs. Sione, great singer. Josh Sinclair, Peter, Trudy, Yavi, the list goes on and on and on. I think we're up to about 35 at the moment, but big shout out. If I haven't mentioned you guys, thank you, Muddy Drifters.
Oh, brilliant. So if there are Muddy Drifters out there listening, do make sure you text 07900171453 or use the contact us button on the app or website, and we can give you a shout out as well that way.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Peggy.
Now, before the show started, we were talking, and you said a couple of weeks ago you actually had a stroke.
Yes, I was in hospital. I had a full stroke. I was lucky. I've recovered mostly from that. I'm on a lot of different medications, but it's quite traumatic when it happens. I mean, it's not really painful. I wouldn't describe it as painful, but I lost my left-hand side, no motor function in my leg or my arm, and no feeling and sensation. I'm still in recovery. Being a drummer percussionist, it's been devastating. I mean, I've been tapping away on a drum, and all that information that I had, all that memory skill, muscle skill, is sort of, I've got to rebuild. A friend of mine, I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning it, Derek, who's also a great musician, he's been great help for me and giving me advice. He's recovering from a right-hand stroke. That means his right-hand side went down, and a couple of others. I've seen people recover, but music is a therapy, Peggy. I mean, it really is.
That's why I mentioned it, because it's something, because like we say, it's muscle memory, and you know how to drum, and it's just getting that back up to the rhythm.
Yes,
it's obviously it can be a slow process on the road of recovery.
Definitely.
But it is something to aim for.
I'll never give in. You're going to have to put me down with something stronger than a stroke. I've seen we've done care homes where we've done some music for them. We've done charity events. We did one recently for Walter, a young guy who's sadly got terminal cancer, to raise funds. We don't mind raising funds for a village hall or a church or something, but really the person that I take my hat off to must be John E. Wright. I've never met such a dedicated person to charities, and he really sort of introduced me and woke me up and said, look, music is therapy. Music can help these people. So to watch somebody who is not very well or very elderly tapping away on their leg, and you're producing that sound, it's a great feeling, Peggy.
It is, and John's been on the show a couple of times.
Yes, he has.
So yeah, it is nice to know that he's still out there giving it all his all.
Well, tonight at the moment, while we speak, he's at the Lamb Inn in Urchfont, and they've got a little bit of an acoustic open mic there, so if you do want to skip, if you're near there in Urchfont, pop in and say hi to Johnny Wright.
Yeah, go and say hello to John. He's a lovely chap, and will welcome you with open arms and a big smile.
He will, yeah.
So the next song I'm going to play, again, is a live recording from a session. This one is a percussion session with Sergey, Miles and Richie. So here we go. So that was the percussion session with Sergey, Miles and Richie.
Thank you.
Whereabouts was that recorded?
That was in the Barge Inn, which is it's a great melting pot for people. If you know the place, you've got all the barges on the side of the river. Lovely place in the summertime. You've got a camping ground there, and the open mic is what I call a spit and sawdust pub. You know, you don't go down there in your best frock. The musicians that turn up there, I've met so many new musicians and some talent, and I must admit I've stolen a few.
Now, Barge Inn, I've been there a few times, usually in the summer when I've done a few walks, and that's one of my stopping points.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
It is a very nice place. So, as I know, I'm looking at the timings and making sure that we don't run out of time for talking.
Yeah.
So, tell our listeners again where they can go find your open mic nights, where they can come and find more information about the Muddy Drifters, and how they can also get involved.
Well, we're on Facebook. We haven't got Instagram or the other platforms. We use Facebook, so that's the Muddy Drifters on Facebook. You can come and connect with us there. We do have the open mic sessions. You can come along and see us live. Our dedicated location is the White Hart in Burbridge. And basically that's in the High Street. It's not hard to miss. It's one of the only pubs there. Lovely pub, great food and good beers and drinks. And you'll see us there every single Thursday. So that's the first Thursday, the second Thursday, and the fourth Thursday of every single month, and that's dedicated to us throughout the year, so you can always find us there. We also have our platform on the Facebook. We will notify people and say where we are, what we're doing, well in advance. We do play the Woodbridge Inn. Again, that's another place people know, just outside Pewsey in North Newton. And then Yavi and I mean, we still go out and we still play together. Even the other people in the collective will say, hey Miles, do you fancy going to an open mic? So John E. Wright is running an open mic at the Lamb Inn in Urchfont. He's doing that tonight, and he does that every second Tuesday. So you can also find a lot of Muddy Drifters that will tag along with him and go outside. So yeah, we'll announce it on Facebook. I suppose that's the best platform to find us.
And that's a group, isn't it? It's not actually a page, it's a group.
Yeah, it's a group.
So everybody can also
it's a group
interact
page
with each other.
Yes, you can all have a chat about what you didn't like and what you liked and where we're going next.
It's very true, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't like that one, but I like this one.
Well, you've touched on something there that it can come up. Musicians can be quite fickle as people, and it's gently massage them when I get them all together. He said this and she said that, and I say, look, it's about the music, and that has to be your focus. I've got a great friend in Tom Hardy, who runs the open mic at the Barge Inn. We end up having the same conversation all the time about, this musician did this and this musician did that. So it's not all easy. Behind the scenes there's a lot going on. I'd like to say thank you very much to Sue, who sat by me here. She might want to have a word. She sort of runs the background. She does the list if we're doing an open mic, when do you want to come on, what slot do you want, things like that.
So she's the organizer.
She's the organizer.
So if somebody wants to come up and say, actually I can sing but I haven't got anyone who to play the background. Do you think any of them knows this song? And
exactly.
she then comes up to you and say, does anybody know this song?
That's right. Yeah, that's
excellent.
what she does. She'll put you together.
She's the middleman.
Middleman, yeah. She's the glue between all the musicians. So big shout out and thank you to Sue.
Oh, lovely. She is in the studio, but she's a bit shy.
Yes, a bit shy. She also does all the video recordings. We always put some of our video recordings, the best clips really, up on Facebook. We have a group chat which you can join. I mean, I'm on WhatsApp. You can use my telephone number to connect with me. That's 07594 191 357, If you send me a text and say hi, you can join the group, and then you can see where we're going. You can even chat to the individual members. And if you are a musician, it's a great way to get to know others. I mean, if you're struggling with something on the bass, or you've got a problem with the drums and you're not quite, or you're starting something new. I mean, you might know rock and roll, but you might not know jazz. But you might be interested, and there are people that have helped me with my drumming and percussion, and certainly Richie and Sergey have taught me a thing or two. You heard the piece before. It's not just me that put into that. There's a lot of work and sharing. So open mic is a place to meet other musicians, to enjoy some music, and just really sort of bring yourself along. Don't be shy.
So what's the most unusual instrument or music has anyone actually requested or played at one of these jamming sessions?
Well, there's this new thing that's going around, which is a handpan. You might have seen it. It looks like a UFO sort of upturned, and it's got about 9 to 18 notes on it. It's an unusual instrument. That's probably the most unusual, Peggy, that we've come across.
Now, I do know about handpans because I actually own one, but I don't play it myself. It's actually for my friend Chloe who has it, so I did buy it for her to use. So yeah, she's trying to learn it. She's been learning it about a year.
It's an unusual instrument, and it's not easy to master.
There is a great artist now. Chloe is actually in the studio at the moment. So Chloe, who is the artist, the Italian artist that you follow, who is a handpan maestro, I would say? Can you remember his name? She's going, I think I've put her on a spot here.
I could hear all of his music.
Not without looking it up. No, not without looking it up. Oh, yeah, he's a brilliant chap. Is it Gabrielle something? So he's a really good artist with the hangpan, and how he does it. Oh my God, I have no idea. And again, it's all to do with muscle memory.
Yes,
because when you watch his hands, he goes like 10 to the dozen. But he plays
you'll find you can sort of group musicians together. If you can play lead guitar, you can definitely play keyboards. There's a big, nice crossover switch there. If you play bass guitar, you probably can play the drums, because you're in the rhythm section. Likewise, with percussion, people think it's the same as drums. It's not. It's a different type of language. It's just the same using your arms. So, yeah, there are crossovers. I would say the handpan, we're talking about that, is a percussion instrument primarily, so you've got to have that in you, percussion or drumming, some kind of skill like that. So you go back to the basics, and then you can handle these different types. Unusual instruments, wow. There's a guy that's in the collective called Peter, and he plays a dulcimer. If you know what that is, it's one of the first pianos ever invented, way back in the beginning of history, where you have wires strung across a board, and you tap those wires. That's the dulcimer, and he plays that. That's a very unusual instrument.
Wow. And obviously he brings that along as well, and just
he brings that along. I mean, when you do a presentation for a pub, they might say to you, "Look, we just want jazz, or we really want some Spanish music, or we want something like that." I can accommodate that and do that, but it's blending those together which is fun.
Yeah, definitely. It really does sound it. Well, before we go, I'd like to just say thank you so much for coming in this evening.
Absolutely no problem. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. And obviously, so listeners, if you want to go and go to these jamming sessions and be a muddy drifter, all you need to do is go along to Burbage to the White Hart on the 1st, 2nd and 4th Thursday.
That's right, 7 o'clock until 10:30.
Oh, brilliant. I think I may have to make sure I get that in my diary and come along.
Thank you, Peggy. And do some singing for us.
Oh, you never know. You never know. But yeah, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Have a safe journey home.
Thank you.
And good night.
Thank you very much, Peggy.
So to take us out, this is Along the Watchtower with Drew. And yet again, this is another live recording from one of those sessions. See you on the next one.
Confusion. Hi, Gary Jackson, just popping in to invite you to join me on the Dark Side of the Moon, classic progressive rock, every Wednesday on Swindon 105.5 from 8 until 10 p.m, and you can listen again on Mondays from 10 p.m. till midnight. All sorts of music like Zeppelin, Genesis, Leonard Skinner, you name it, we've got it on Swindon 105.5.